Hello, elder scene kids and elder emos, because this video is for you, because you know this band and that's why you clicked on it. Am I right? And if you shot that Hot Topic, let me know down in the comments. Or at least you picked up a shirt from this band at Hot Topic, definitely hit me up. What's up, everyone? It's your boy, Matt Diazable, coming at you with a new music review. Thank you for coming on by. I appreciate it. You're the best. I'm having fun doing this, and I love y'all. Thanks. Today, I'm checking out the latest release from the band Silverstein with their album called Antibloom. Or if you're an older scene kid, you know this band. But if you don't know, Silverstein is a post-hardcore band from Canada, and they've been a band for going on like 25 years now. They've been in the game for a while. People who are into MySpace, Zanga back in the day, they definitely know about this band. This band has been putting out bangers after bangers for a long time. They've just been consistent with their output in the post-hardcore world. And I got introduced to them with their album with the song, I think the album's called Arrivals and Departures. If you could see Into My Soul, I remember seeing their music video for on the channel, I think Fuse, back in like high school. And I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. And then that's when I started getting into more post-hardcore music and stuff, and met other people at shows and stuff, and friends who like this band. But personally, I enjoy this song, My Heart Still Bleeds, the oldest stuff. Me and my friends always jammed it out. A lot of fun. But with this latest album, Antibloom, it's not just a single release. It's kind of like a double release because they're doing like a two-part concept album. This one is kind of more of like, celebrating their 25-year anniversary as being a band. And so they're like doing different styles of music here to impress the fans and make the fans feel very satisfied over the year, because they're going to get two releases. And with this album, they put out a big 25-year anniversary tour where people can pick out the songs they want to listen to, whether it's old songs or new songs. So it's just a giant celebration, it seems like, with these two albums that are coming out. So this is part one of a video I'm going to make. So Antibloom, the first part of this new Silverstein album cycle. Yeah. And on this new album, Antibloom from Silverstein, I gotta say, they're delivering one of their most adventurous and emotionally varied albums yet. Instead of sticking to like familiar sounds that they're known for, with this album, they're kind of leaning into some really extreme territories, balancing punishing heaviness with some really polished melodies and combining them with very vulnerable and yet raw power. So the results are, you get a record that feels very unpredictable, but very, very, very purposeful. Like there's a lot of meaning into it, even if it does swing back and forth between different genres. The album opens up with the song Mercy, Mercy, and immediately it kind of sets a very darker and heavier tone than most fans might expect, because they got some really crunchy and dense riffs here and a breakdown that's very slow and very apocalyptic that creates a very massive soundscape here, anchored by some really good clean vocals and some guttural lows. They got a mix of everything going on with this song. And I would say there's a perfect capturing of the mid-2000s post-hardcore energy with the chorus, but with I guess you could say, a production that feels very modern and bold. So I'll play a small clip of this song, Mercy, Mercy, so you get a sense of just that clean production they've got with this song.
I can't stop counting the days. Now everything's drifting away. We'll raise a toast to the age of decay.
Kind of reminds me of like Old from First to Last. Most of the album, I gotta say, the instrumentation here is pretty solid, though at times the drums seem to get a little bit buried in the mix, while the bass, it's very present and really steals the spotlight throughout this album. Then you have the heavy moments on the song Skin and Bones, I Will Destroy This, where they really keep up the intensity. On these tracks, Silverstein seems really locked in here with some groovy riffs, some drums that have some nice dynamic feel to them, and clean and unclean vocals that do a really good job of trading off between these two styles with a lot of conviction. These songs are a perfect showcasing of the band's ability to channel raw emotion through sheer force while still maintaining a very good melody and structure through their songs. So I'll play a clip of I Will Destroy This so you get a sense of just how heavy and balanced everything sounds. Impressive, right? The song Skin and Bones does a really good job of showing some emotional weight on this song with its lyrics, talking about inner turmoil and emotional collapse that feel like they're being delivered with really great clarity and urgency. And talking about emotions, they run deep on this record, especially on tracks like Confession, because the clean vocals kind of glide over some really smooth and restrained drumming before swelling into a full cinematic arrangement, complete with the violins and an orchestra texture feel to it. So I want to play a clip of Confession so you get a sense of like the raw and soft emotions that they're pulling from here.
You're the ocean, the undertow. You're the drug that won't let me go. You're pulling me under. You're pulling me under.
They're really tugging at your heartstrings with these songs. It's a very powerful moment of vulnerability with this song, you know, exposing personal truth with grace. And I think it was a really good move on them to add those classical instruments because it gives the song a very grand, you know, almost film-like score to it with the atmosphere. So it really sets it apart from the rest of the album. And I would say like a lot of the songs on here kind of lean into like a heavier sound. Silverstein isn't afraid to pivot a bit. Like on the song A Little Fight kind of stands out with this very pop influenced production and very upbeat energy. On a positive side, the bass tone really shines with this particular track, but on a little bit of a negative note, the clean vocals almost feel too polished, creating a track that feels a little bit more pop rock detour in this very brooding and emotional storm of a record. So it's a little bit of an outliner in the album, both good and bad. It's not a misstep with this song. It's just a surprising, you know, shift in tone that really reflects that the band is willing to experiment with their sound and different ideas. Another stylistic curveball you get here is on the song Stress. It kind of has like a new metal feel to it with a modern energy to it. The song feels very raw, unhinged, with some really gritty vocals and some low-end riffs that, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they were on a 2020, I guess, modern Limp Bizkit record. There's something like cathartic and even like tongue-in-cheek about it that when you listen to it, you're just kind of like turning your brain off and just enjoying the music for what it is, because it's big, it moves your body in a very groovy, unapologetic attitude. And then on the opposite side of the spectrum, you have the song Cherry Coke that closes the album out with a very like soft and delicate ballad-like approach. It features very gentle acoustic guitar strums, chill drums, and very restrained vocal performance here that makes it feel like the band is fully in control of what they're doing here. The subtle blend of like electronic textures adds to the atmosphere, and it allows the song to really breathe and have a different contrast compared to the heavier material on this record. It's a very soft landing and ending to this record after a very turbulent ride. And it just gives you proof that Silverstein can be just as compelling with a whisper, and just as much as they can scream, they can do soft and hard very easily, and this album is proof of that. Throughout Antibloom, you can definitely tell Silverstein you can tell they're not interested in playing it safe. Whether embracing post-hardcore nostalgia, leaning into modern metalcore intensity, dabbling in some pop, and even channeling some new metal chaos, the band sounds very refreshed and just fearless. The production is sleek, the performances are committed, and while not every stylistic shift really sticks to landing on this record, the ambition and the heart behind all of this record is really just undeniable. This is something from, you know, I guess you could say deep from within themselves, deep in their hearts, and something they want to give to the fans that is something very fun and just different. So I got to give it up to Silverstein, give them their flowers. They've been in the game for so long. They've been doing a lot for the scene in many, many ways. So with this latest first part of this two-part album series, Antibloom, I would give it a nice and decent 8 out of 10. Links down below. Come back in a few months when I do part 2 with their other album called Pink Bloom, out on September 11th, if I'm correct, of 2025. So keep an eye out for my review of that later in the year. And until later, see you in the pit.